You mentioned Britpop and feeling exploited by this kind of contrived war between your group, who were cast as the bête noire of another group. Did you feel exploited by that? Is that a useful way to understand music or to appreciate music, or is it just stupid?
It was quite exciting, and part of me was kind of enjoying the attention. Another part of me was hugely disturbed, and there's always this sort of paradox where I guess maybe with musicians, why do people become musicians in the first place? Why do they, sit in their bedrooms and learn the guitar, or write songs, write lyrics, poetry, whatever it is? Because it's a very unsociable thing to be doing. So it's just this weird battle with attention, not having attention and wanting it and getting really angry, and then getting attention when you don't want it and being really angry. So you can turn very quickly into this twisted ego, kind of spoiled brat with a dreadful self-image, and I think that was sort of happening really. It was great to have a number one, but I can't think back really and think, had a number one record. It's all like we had this dreadful kind of circus, instead of something that seemed a lot more honourable. It just seemed kind of coloured, with this resentment and all this.
Well, you grew up with that, learning that, that loving that, the mythology and, reading about the Beatles. But, obviously they felt the same way. I mean, about feeling exploited and feeling this false narrative thrust on what they did, and they were the translators for every every radical kind of thing in the culture. They were the machine that it went through to go big.
But really, I guess it had to be munched down through like a cow, through all its stomachs, and then into some kind of saleable state at the end, radio playable state.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that you grew up in Germany, or you lived in Germany for a time when you were a child?
Yeah, a little time, yeah. I was born there, and yeah.
So did living in Germany inform your love for classical music? Because they love it there.
It's funny, because it's just been Easter, and that was always where it would turn into something crazy, because, we'd hide the Easter eggs. We'd get up, me and my sister would be, and my dad would put Beethoven's Ninth on, and it's like, this is when we hunt for the Easter eggs, and it would be loud. It would be getting increasingly loud because my dad would lose himself in it, and it would be getting to the Ode to Joy part, and by that time we couldn't hear ourselves speak. And my sister had found all hers, and I was still looking for some of mine, and it would be, you found all yours and now you're finding mine, and it would be shouting, and it would be getting louder, and my dad would be like, and it was like explosive. So that's what Beethoven. My dad loves Beethoven, and then so I kind of love Beethoven.
And Beethoven was deaf, like Pete Townsend.
Yeah.
I know that you like The Who.
I like The Who.
I like The Who too.
The Who primed me for all of that underground American stuff, in a way.
Yeah.
The early Who.
I'm of two minds about The Who, because on one hand, I love them so much, but then on the other hand, they seem sort of like the way that the Beatles were translating trends, but they seem to be like translating, I don't know, like Quadrophenia to me now just sounds so much like a Pink Floyd, like conceptual record, and then Live at Leeds sounds like a Led Zeppelin record. Seems like they were mimicking what were the contemporaries at the time.
I like a quick one, and I like The Who Sell Out.
The Who Sell Out.
The Who Sell Out.
Fantastic record.
Yeah. Because Pete sings most of the songs.
Yeah.
As well. And I have a great fondness for Pete Townsend's voice, his high, kind of nasally, beautiful timbre.
Yeah.